This is the Ohio AgNet from the voice you know at the News You Trust studio, sponsored by BASF and Veltima Fungicide, the proven #1 for the toughest corn diseases with long-lasting residual, when you need to be confident your fungicide will perform. I'm Ty Higgins. Going to make a couple county fair stops next week with the local Connection Ag County Fair Tour initial stop on Monday. Their first check presentation of the season going to the Union County Junior Fair Board. And I'll be broadcasting from the Shelby County Fair Tuesday, thanks to Tempty Trailers. Check out their new location in Sidney. Ohio wheat farmers are strengthening international relationships that could lead to new export opportunities. The Ohio Small Grains Marketing Program recently welcomed a U.S. Wheat Associates trade team from Brazil for a 2-day tour highlighting Ohio's wheat industry. The visit showcased the state's production, grain quality, research, and transportation network while giving Brazilian buyers a first-hand look at Ohio's soft red winter wheat supply chain. The delegation visited Sunrise Cooperative's Crestline grain facility, toured the farm of Morrow County wheat grower Ray Van Horn during harvest, and stopped at the USDA Soft Wheat Quality Laboratory in Worcester. The group also visited the Ohio State University Ag Technical Institute to learn about wheat breeding and variety development. Brazil's an important market for U.S. wheat, and Ohio leaders say trade missions like this help demonstrate the quality, consistency, and reliability of wheat grown right here in the Buckeye State. You can read this story now online at ohioagnet.com. Renewed fighting with Iran and the continued Russia-Ukraine war are both impacting commodity prices. That means farmers must keep a keen eye towards the markets and when to secure inputs. Mike Zuzolo is president of Global Commodity Analytics. He emphasizes the importance of monitoring biodiesel demand and policy changes in the U.S. to predict soybean prices.
Watch the policy and watch the biodiesel demand domestically, because that's going to play a greater role in terms of whether we can sustain these prices in soybeans or not. But it's also watch these two major straits, the Strait of Hormuz, the Kerch Strait, the most intensive areas arguably for commodities in the whole world. I mean, Russia is the #1 exporter of wheat and #2 exporter of diesel.
Zuzolo recommends a proactive approach, better safe than sorry.
I just got done locking in diesel for fall needs with clients and subscribers last week. Why? In part because of that, but in part because where does this end with Iran? I'd rather be covered on the downside than have to worry about how high is, especially if I'm fighting more fertilizer prices like I was earlier this year.
That's Mike Zuzolo with Global Commodity Analytics. As Ohio's corn crop enters pollination, agronomists say now's the time for growers to evaluate their risk for vomitoxin and make informed fungicide decisions. Vomitoxin, also known as DAWN, develops when Gibberella ear rot infects corn during silking. The disease can reduce grain quality and marketability, making proper management critical. This year's weather has created only a limited risk of DAWN levels, above 1 part per million for most fields in pollination. But risk can vary depending on local conditions, hybrid susceptibility, and crop management practices. Agronomists remind growers that fungicides are only part of the management strategy. Hybrid selection, crop rotation, and timely harvest all play important roles in minimizing disease and protecting grain quality. You can read more online now at ohioagnet.com. Time to get a check of the forecast with Ryan Martin, brought to you by Seed Genetics Direct, the #1 fastest growing and largest Ohio-based seed company.
Dominant sunshine, low dew points, excellent humidity levels this afternoon. Same story tomorrow, although we're a little bit warmer. Humidity values start to creep up on Saturday. Not bad, but they're more humid than what we're seeing today and tomorrow. And then as we get into Sunday, warmer, more humid, and this sets the stage for probably some thunderstorms early next week, especially late Monday. I'm Ryan Martin.
Thank you, Ryan. Markets and analysis after this on the Ohio AgNet.
Looking for heavy equipment but don't know where to buy? Purple Wave Auction has you covered. Always online and always no reserve. It's your destination for construction or ag equipment ready to work. We even sell semis, trailers, and fleet equipment for your operation. Best part? It's free to join. Head to purplewave.com. That's purplewave.com. Sign up for a free account and start bidding today. Purple Wave Auction, the easiest and most straightforward way to buy and sell equipment.
Welcome back to the Ohio AgNet. I'm Ty Higgins, and today's market analysis is brought to you by Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to bring a brand new soybean crush facility to Upper Sandusky. Learn more about marketing your soybeans with LDC at 574-566-2113. U.S. ethanol production averaged 1.09 million barrels per day last week. That's up from 1.04 million the week prior and last year's 1.08 million bushels per day. Domestic ethanol inventories ended the week at 24.5 million barrels. That's up slightly from last week and last year. The big news yesterday was the November futures contract hit the highest price for a most active contract in 2 years. Traders have used strong demand and uncertain crop weather to rally the soybean complex this week. Another higher day for the grain trade. September corn up 2 1/4 at 464 1/4. December 487 1/4, up by 2 1/2. Soybeans for August 6 1/2 better at 1239 1/2. November new crop 1247 a bushel and 8 cents higher. September wheat down 4 cents at 701 3/4. August live cattle 225 higher at 225.45. Feeder cattle for September 339.60 up by 340, and lean hogs for August $100.87, a loss of 57 cents at midday. This is the Ohio AgNet.